Boss Rush 820 Day 3. So we got a pretty easy one today, but it's not a great farm as we do have Ichman as a follow-up boss. So the comp I'm using is Balinda with Lesser Water Elemental, Varden with Band of Frost, Bwonsamdi with Arena Contender, Medivh with Unstable Runes, Genn with Gilnean Strength, and Rogers with Ship Spell. You could use other Artillery Strike mercs if you want. But Ichman does have a Death Rattle, so you're going to have to fight that second boss as well, either Ichman by himself or the 2 Death Rattle summons that come out when he dies to Artillery Strike. And Ranel here is very easily defeated by Frost. So he has this passive that makes frozen characters take double damage. So I'm just going to lead with Balinda, Varden, Bwon. And you could do something with like Holmes if you wanted to triple freeze or anything like that. So this doesn't really do that much. These guys usually do shoot a frost attack at 6 speed next turn. So it would go to 4 speed, so I probably do want to go ahead and freeze the fan, even though I do lose this water elemental, to prevent that from going off. Well, actually, I'm going to freeze one of these. And I'm going to damage this guy in hopes that he would try to heal himself, although I don't think this is enough damage to cause that behavior. So they're probably going to cast their frosting anyway, and me not be able to stop it if I were to freeze Ranel. So I would only be able to freeze one, and because I would lose that first water elemental, and this one's going to be slow because of that Prime Fog incantation. So by doing it this way, I gave myself the chance for a flurry, slow them, be able to fully stop all the incoming damage. But even when they shoot with that frost attack, it usually just targets Bwonsamdi, so I'm not too worried about it either way. Okay, so we got this guy's at 7 speed, so we can stop both of these. And we were able to do enough damage here that this guy tries to heal himself, so we don't have to worry about him now. So I'm just going to freeze this. And I guess I'll freeze here. So this does freeze it anyway, but it doesn't give you a Band of Frost activation, because as you can see here, the passive is after you freeze an enemy. So when he freezes himself, it doesn't give me the ramp. So I'm just going to basically swing here for ramp. So we're freezing both, getting 2 instances of ramp, and then doing our flurry. And now they're all frozen, and we just kill them. Frost damage. Of course, if you have at least 156 HP on your water elemental, that allows you to have an elemental survive when you have no attack anomaly on blues. It's also fine if you do have attack anomaly and say they do get a cast off on turn 2, you can survive that. It'll usually, as I mentioned, just target Bwonsamdi. Alright, so I'm just going to do damage to one of the blues. I'll shoot here. We'll get some more ramp here. I don't think I need these extra water elementals, so I'm just gonna swing with both of these just to get the ramp. And then next turn they'll unfreeze. But we should be killing things pretty much by then. I have to be careful when this one dies. It's gonna freeze me, so I want it to die to my slowest attack for the turn. You could also bring any other damage merc if you don't want to use Varden, but Varden does have good treasures for the next boss, like Frost Ritual, for example, or even the Battle Cry Freeze is good. Oh yeah, these had health anomaly, so they got healed up. That's fine. So we'll just get some more ramp there. And I'll target that, and we'll shoot a flurry and do Frost AoE. Alright, and now we're just finishing him off real quick. Just a few thousand damage overkill. So here we're actually hoping to not hit Artillery Strike until after the second boss, ideally. It does change the fight if we hit it before. We'll just take the Stoneheart's Salvation here. Alright, we did hit it. I'm going to go ahead and take it. So we're going to have to fight this split version here. I wanted to take it since I do want it for these. And I don't want to have to hit specifically Genn after this fight to avoid fighting Plaguemaw. So these Death Rattle summons, the left one is immune to melee. So it has immune while being attacked. This one is not immune while being attacked. And then there's the fire anomaly to worry about. So this one can cast a explosive trap and an explosive shot. The explosive shot is the most dangerous thing that you have to worry about. This one has a cleave attack at 9 speed, and it also has just regular melee attacks, I think. So those are the main things to worry about, the melee attacks from this and the cleave and the fire stuff here. So I'm going to freeze the red, and we're going to use Medivh here. So there shouldn't be able to be an explosive shot on turn 1. This will probably just be like a low damage kill command. So we're going to freeze here. And this would only take me up to 340-ish. So I won't be able to survive if I taunt this water elemental. So I'm going to put hit points on my Medivh, I guess. And we can get a second counter rune here when we bounce. I do want to kill this green off. Oh yeah, we do get Stoneheart's Salvation, so I think, yeah, it's still not enough to make this water elemental survive. And with that activation, and we're going to bounce to refresh that freeze. So next turn, there's a potential for a explosive shot. If that happens, I'm going to have to let this unfreeze. Because I'll need it to be countered. So we already have an Arcane Ward, so I don't have to bring Medivh back out here. I could bring Varden. Let's do that. And then we'll potentially have an Ice Lance available. We could freeze both of them that way next turn. So it's just a kill command, so I can just counter myself here. I could bounce just to refresh this freeze and get a new water elemental. I'm going to do that. And we're going to ramp Frost and do a flurry. I don't want to swing with this because I can only freeze here, and this one has too much attack, so we're going to save this water elemental. If I did get the explosive shot here, I would just let it be countered and act slower than 5 speed. Then the next turn we would freeze that and probably Ice Lance, depending on what they're doing. I'm gonna bring the same 3 out. And I'm positioning like this in case I need to deal a Vanity. One of the cleave type things, then I could let this Arcane Ward tank the other hit without sacrificing Varden or Balinda. Okay, just another kill command, so bounce again here. So I can freeze here and bounce to refresh that. If I do that, I'm gonna waste a water elemental, so I have to just use it for ramp. But that's fine. I want to get this green lower. Okay, now we'll be able to get this water elemental high enough that it can tank a hit. And we'll have a new one. So I'm going to bring the same team out. Let's see. I'm going to position like this. That way Varden's not next to the Arcane Ward in case we did let like an explosive shot cast or something. They do like to shoot the Arcane Ward a lot of the time. Oh, this isn't even that high of a fire anomaly, so it's not super scary. Alright, so we're just gonna attack that. Do a flurry. And get some frost ramp. I think I'm gonna save these. I could use one just for ramp before the flurry. There's only one enemy to freeze, so I really don't need multiples. So I could just go ahead and sacrifice this one. We're not gonna get any activations before this swings, so I will use that one. And then we'll let this one get its health up. There's some weird lag there. Alright, so there's the explosive shot. I can just let that shoot me though, because it's only going to do 300 damage at most to Varden. So I'm just going to let that happen. And we'll do a freeze and a bounce there. We might lose this water elemental if this targets the Arcane Ward and then cleaves water elemental. Actually, I think we do heal it enough with our Stoneheart Salvation though. Yeah, it survives anyway. These will heal up to their anomaly value, whatever that was. But I'm just gonna bring this same team out. I could bring Medivh out now instead of Bwonsamdi. I guess I'll do that. Or I could even bring Genn to get Stoneheart Salvation activations. And makes taunts. Decent. You have lots of different options here. And like my Bwonsamdi has a lot of hit points from all those salvation activations. That's 4 speed. I might as well use this one. Just let that be countered. And that should pretty much wrap it up. So not a great farm day since you have to do the Ichman fight. It's also easier if you don't hit artillery strike until after that fight. Because then you just put Ichman behind a counter rune and act slower than him. So Medivh just solves the fight. But you can do it either way, as you saw here. A bunch of Barons bosses, but unfortunately Ichman got thrown in the mix to mess it up for farming day. So day 1 should be the best farming day still with that Deathwing comp. Yeah, we had Solorn, Amberwind, Plaguemaw, and Ranel is close to a Baron's boss. He was like the start of Felwood, I think. But if you're running a Frost comp, he's basically a Baron's boss in terms of difficulty. Our 205 Renown, and then it's back to the day 1 Deathwing farm. So there's day 3 on 820, and good luck on your run.